morning everyone. I welcome you all in this lecture. Today I am going to discuss the Jacobian. Jacobian has many applications such as functional dependence, transformation of variables in multiple integral and in partial differentiation. So let us start with the definition of the Jacobian. I am giving the definition for two variables and then we can extend it for three variables and higher variables. So the Jacobian let u and b are function of two independent variables x and y having first order derivatives then the determinant del u upon del x, del u upon del y, del v upon del x, del v upon del y. Let us assume that u and v are function of two independent variable x and y having the first order derivatives. Then this 2 cross 2 determinant is known as Jacobian of uv with respect to x and y. So this is known as your Jacobian of uv with respect to x and y, and we denote it by del of uv del xy, or we can write it as Jacobian of uv with respect to xy, or simply we can write it as Jacobian of uv and it is equal to del u upon del x, del u upon del y, del v upon del x and del v upon del y. So Jacobian is nothing but a determinant. So this 2 cross 2 determinant is known as the Jacobian of uv with respect to x and y. Now we can extend this definition for three variables. Let u, v, w are function of x, y and z, where your x, y and z are independent to each other and have the u, v and w have continuous first order derivatives. Then your Jacobian of u, v, w with respect to x, y and z is given by this determinant ux, uy, uz, vx, vy, vz and wx, wy, wz, where ux is the first order partial derivative with respect to x and shown. Now let us discuss some properties of the Jacobian. So the property number 1, let u, v are function of x and y, then your Jacobian of uv with respect to xy into Jacobian of xy with respect to uv is equal to 1. So their product is equal to 1. So proof is very easy. Let us open the definition of this Jacobian. So this left hand side is equal to, now this is equal to the first determinant is del u upon del x, del u upon del y, del v upon del x into del v upon del y. Then we have del x upon del u, del x upon del v, del y upon del u and del y upon del v. Now let us have the determinant multiplication. Then first row will multiply with the first column. So we have del x upon del u into del u upon del x into del x upon del u. Then we will have del u upon del y and del y upon del u. Then the first row into second column, del u upon del x then del x upon del v plus, then we will have del x upon del u upon del x into del x upon del v plus del u upon del y into del y upon del v. Then second row, first column, del p upon del x into del x upon del u plus del p upon del y, then del y upon del v. Then we will have del p upon del x upon del v, then del p upon del y upon del v. Now using the definition of chain rule of partial differentiation, we can write this term as, this is your del u upon del u. This first term is del u upon del u with the help of the chain rule of partial differentiation, and this will be your del u upon del v, and this is your del p upon del u, and this will be your del v upon del v. As our u and v are function of x and y, where x and y are independent to each other. Similarly, if you are writing x, y in terms of u, v, then your u and v will be independent to each other. So your del u upon del v and del v upon del u will be 0. So this is equal to 1, 0, 0, 1. So on, if you open this determinant, then this will be 1 minus 0. So we have 1. Here we have used this definition, because if you use a function of x, y, then your del u upon del x or your del u upon del r will be del u upon del x into del x upon del r, then del u upon del y into del y upon del r. This was your chain rule of the partial differentiation. So here we have used this rule. So that means you can say that this right hand side is just equal to del u upon del r. So we have this determinant and it is equal to 1. The next property is, I am proving all the properties for two variables because the calculation is easy, and we can extend this property for higher order variables. That means if we take 3 variables, then again we have this region, and if you increase the number of variables, then we will have this. We can also write it as j into j dash equal to 1, where j is this Jacobian and j dash is the inverse of that Jacobian. So your j into j dash is 1. Then the next property, property number 2, that means Jacobian of composite function, and you can say that chain rule. That means if u comma v are function of x and y, and x comma y are function of say r and s, then your Jacobian of uv with respect to rs is equal to your Jacobian of uv with respect to your Jacobian of uv with respect to xy, and the Jacobian of xy with respect to rs. So Jacobian of uv with respect to xy into Jacobian of xy with respect to rs is same as Jacobian of uv with respect to rs. So that this is what we have to prove. So proof. I am writing the proof here. So your proof is, let us take the right hand side. That means Jacobian of uv with respect to xy into Jacobian of xy with respect to rs. Because the proof is almost similar, so I am going to correct this property. So here we will have del u upon del x into del u upon del y, del u upon del x into del u upon del y. Then we will have del x upon del r, then del x upon del s, del y upon del r, and del y upon del s. So now on cross multiplication, just replace your u and v by r and s here. So this will be your del u upon del x into del x upon del r. Then we will have del u upon del x into del y upon del r. Then we will have del u upon del x into del x upon del s, and then del u upon del y into del y upon del s. Then the next term will be del v upon del x into del x upon del r, del v upon del y into del y upon del r. Then the next will be del v upon del x into del x upon del s, and then del v upon del y into del y upon del s. Now using this definition, this term will be, the first term will be del u upon del r, the second term will be del u upon del s. Here the first term will be del v upon del r, and the second term will be del v upon del s. Now using this definition, we have this result, and this is your Jacobian of UV with respect to RS, and this was your left hand side. So our right hand side is equal to the left hand side, so we can say that Jacobian of UV with respect to XY into Jacobian of XY with respect to RS is same as Jacobian of UV with respect to RS. Then the third property, property 3, functional dependence. So let U and B are functionally dependent to each other. That is, if they are dependent to each other, that means they are connected by some relation. So that is, if f of UV equal to 0, then our Jacobian of UV with respect to xy is equal to 0. And this is your, the converse of this property also holds, so we can say that Jacobian of UV is 0 if and only if there is a connection between U and B. So proof. Here we are saying that U and B are functionally dependent, that means they are connected by some relation. So if they are connected by some relation, then we have to prove that their Jacobian is 0. As your f of UV equal to 0, so let us use the definition of total derivative or the definition of chain rule. So let us differentiating 1 with respect to x. So we will have del f upon del x is equal to, this will be your del f upon del u into del u upon del x, then we have del f upon del v into del v upon del x. Now as your f is 0, so this left hand side will be 0. So we have 0 equal to del f upon del u, del u upon del x, then del f upon del v, and then del v upon del x. So this one is equation number 2. Similarly, if you differentiate this equation with respect to y, then we can replace our x by y. So we will have this equation. So this is equation number 3. Now let us compute the value of, let us eliminate del f upon del u and del f upon del v from equation number 2 and 3. So by 2 and 3, by 2, your value of del f upon del u on del f upon del v will be equal to minus del v upon del x divided by del u upon del x, and by 3 we will have del f upon del u divided by del f upon del v equal to minus del v upon del y divided by del u upon del y. So as this equation has common left hand side, so we will have del v upon del x into del u upon del x equal to del v upon del y divided by del u upon del y. So on cross multiplication we have del v upon del x into del u upon del y minus del u upon del x into del v upon del y, or we can say that del u upon del x into del v upon del y minus del v upon del x into del u upon del y equal to 0. So this is your Jacobian of, UV with respect to x and y. So this is your equal to 0. So we can say that If u and v are functionally dependent to each other, then your Jacobian is 0, and we can prove its converge as well. So we can say that thus u and v are functionally dependent if and only their Jacobian with respect to x, y is equal to 0. So if u and v are functionally dependent, then Jacobian is 0, and similarly we can prove its converge, and so we can say that u and v are functionally dependent if and only their Jacobian is 0. Then the fourth property is the Jacobian of implicit function. In implicit function, we cannot reduce the value of u, v and w in terms of x, y and z. So let us assume that they are connected by some relation. Let u, v and w are function of x, y and z, and here we will be not able to find out the value of u, v, w in terms of x, y and z. So for that, let us assume that u, v and w are function of x, y and z, and suppose that we have these three equations. Say this is your first equation, this is your second equation, and this is your third equation. So if we have these three equations, then your Jacobian of u, v, w with respect to x, y and z is equal to minus 1 to the power 3. This minus 1 to the power 3 is coming because we have three relation into Jacobian of f1, f2, f3 with respect to x, y, z, then divided by Jacobian of f1, f2, f3 with respect to u, v, w. So the Jacobian of u, v, w with respect to x, y, z is basically equal to minus 1 to the power 3, the Jacobian of f1, f2, f3 with respect to x, y, z divided by Jacobian of f1, f2, f3 with respect to u, v, w. And this is not very difficult to prove. Just take this term in the left hand side, or just take this term in the left hand side and just find out their product. If you find their product, that means if you open the definition of 3 cross 3 determinant, then we will get this right hand side. So it is not difficult to prove. It is similar to the previous results. So I am not going to prove it. And we can say that as we have three relations, so we are getting minus 1 to the power 3, and your Jacobian of u, v, w with respect to x, y, z is basically Jacobian of f1, f2, f3 with respect to x, y, z into or divided by Jacobian of f1, f2, f3 with respect to u, v and w. Now we have questions. As Jacobian has many applications in multiple integral, in transformation of variables, so let us solve some standard question. The first question is, if x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta, then the Jacobian of xy with respect to r theta is equal to r. This is very standard region, and in polar coordinates, if you change the xy plane in r theta plane, then our Jacobian of xy will be xy with respect to r theta will be r. So solution is not very difficult. Your Jacobian of xy with respect to r theta is basically equal to del x upon del r, del x upon del theta, del y upon del r, and then del y upon del theta. So your del x upon del r will be cos theta, del x upon del theta will be your minus r sin theta, then we have del y upon del r is sin theta, and this will be r cos theta. So you can see that this is your r cos square theta, plus r sin square theta. So this is equal to r. Then next, if x equal to r cos theta and y equal to, let us evaluate the Jacobian of, let us find out the Jacobian of cylindrical coordinates. So if x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta and z equal to z, then your Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to r, theta and z is again your r. I am not going to prove this today, it is very easy, similar to this, but just extend your definition for free variable. So the Jacobian of this x, y, z with respect to r, theta, z is equal to your r. Then we have the third question, and it is for the spherical coordinates. So if your x equal to r sin theta cos phi, y equal to r sin theta sin phi, and z equal to r cos theta, then your Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to r theta phi is equal to r square sin theta. So this is your for cylindrical, for your spherical polar coordinates. So now if x, y, z are written in terms of spherical polar coordinates, then you have to find out that Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to r theta phi is equal to r square sin theta. So prove. Solution: Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to r theta phi is equal to del x upon del r, this will be your sin theta, cos phi, del x upon del theta will be your r cos theta, cos phi, del x upon del phi, your r sin minus r sin theta, sin phi. Then we have del y upon del r, which is your sin theta, cos sin theta, sin phi, del y upon del theta, r cos theta, sin phi, del y upon del phi, r sin theta, cos phi. Then del z upon del r is your cos theta, del z upon del theta would be minus r sin theta, and del z upon del phi is 0. So this is equal to sin theta cos phi, then we will have this term as 0, then minus minus will be plus, r square sin square theta, then we will have cos phi. Then the next term will be minus r cos theta cos phi, then we will have this term into this one, that is your 0, then we will have minus r sin theta cos theta into cos phi. Then the third term will be minus r sin theta, your sin phi, then minus minus will be plus, r sin square theta sin phi, then this will be your minus r cos square theta into sin phi. So on simplification, you can see that this is just equal to r square sin theta. So let us simplify it. So this is equal to, the first one will be r square sin cube theta, r square sin cube theta, then this will be your cos square phi, then we will have this term as minus minus plus r square. Now this is your cos square theta, cos square phi into sin theta, cos square theta, cos square phi into sin theta. Then this will be minus r square sin cube theta, then your sin square phi. Then the fourth term will be minus minus plus r minus minus plus r square, we will have cos square theta into, this will be your cos square theta into sin square phi into sin theta. So from here you can see that this bracket is your cos square phi plus sin square phi, and from here this bracket will be your r cube sin cube theta is common. So in the bracket we will have cos square phi minus sin square phi, and here your r square cos square theta sin theta is common, and in the bracket we will have cos square phi plus sin square phi, that is your 1 minus sin. Now for this we will have minus sign here, so this is your minus r sin square theta sin phi. Okay, now this is minus minus plus, so we have this plus sign, so this is equal to r square sin cube theta plus r square cos square theta sin theta. So if you take r square sin theta common, then in the bracket we will have cos square theta plus sin square theta, so this is your 1. So the Jacobian of x, y, z in case of spherical polar coordinates is equal to r square sin theta. Then the next question is, suppose that your x is bw upon u, y is uw upon v, and z is ub upon w, then Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to u, v, w is equal to 4. So solution, your Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to u, v, w is equal to del x upon del u, this will be your minus bw upon u square, then we will have del x upon del v, del x upon del v will be w upon u, then we will have del x upon del w, which is your b upon u. Then again the second term will be del y upon del u, then y upon del u will be w upon v, then we will have minus uw upon v square, then del y upon del w will be u upon v, then Jacobian of z with respect to u is v upon w, then we will have u upon w, then minus uv upon w square. Now let us take this u square common from here b square, and from the third row w square. So we will have 1 upon u square b square w square. Now this will become your minus bw. Here we will have uw, then this will be your uv, then this term will be your wb, this one is minus uw, this is your ub, we have vw, and then here we will have uw minus ub. Now you can see that from the first column we have v common, from the second column we have u common, or then from this first column we have bw common. So this will be your bw, from here we have uw, and then from here we have uv. So this will be your u square b square w square. Now here we will have 1 minus 1 1 1 1 minus 1 1, and then 1 1 minus 1. Now this is your 1, and just open this bracket, this determinant. So this is equal to, this will be your plus 1 minus 1, so this is your 0. Then we will have minus sign, so we will have this one as minus 1 minus 1, then the third one will be 1, then we will have 1 plus 1, so this is your 0, this is your plus 2, so it is equal to 4. So the Jacobian of ubw, the Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to ubw is 4. Then the next question, let ubw equal to, say, let x plus y plus z equal to, say, u, and so x plus y plus z equal to, say, your u, and ub equal to y plus z, and z equal to ubw. Then find if this is your values of u, if you have these three relations, then find your Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to u, v, w. Now, here we have two methods. Either you can assume these three relations as these three equations as three different relations, then use the definition of Jacobian of implicit function, or find out the values of x, y, z in terms of u, v, w. If you are able to find out x, y, z in terms of u, v, w, then we can directly use our definition. And if you are not able to find out, then just assume this one as equation number 1, say the function as f1, assume it as function f2, and assume this third one as function f3. Then use the definition of Jacobian of implicit function. Let us find out the values of u, v, w or x, y, z. So here you can see that your z is already given, u, v, w. Now if we put z equal to u, v, w here, then our y will be u, v minus u, v, w, and your x will be, put the value of y plus z here. So your x will be u minus y plus z, and the value of y plus z is u, v. So now we have guessed the values of x, y, z, so we can find out this Jacobian. So the Jacobian of x, y, z with respect to u, v, w is equal to del x upon del u. Your del x upon del u will be 1 minus b. Then you will have del x upon del v, which is your minus c. Then del x upon del w, which is your 0. Then del y upon del u. Del y upon del u will be minus b minus bw. Then we will have del y upon del v. Del y upon del v is u minus uw. And then del y upon del w will be minus ub. Then del z upon del w will be ub. Del z upon del u will be bw. Then this will be your uw. Then ub. So if you want to make this term as 0, then just as your row 3 and row 1, then this will become your 0. Then we will have only one non-zero. So let us add R3 in R2. So if we add R3 in R2, then we will have 1 minus b, then this is minus u, this is your 0. Then in the second row we are adding the third row, so this will become your b, and here we will have u, and then this will become your 0. And finally the third row is bw, uw, ub. Now we have only one non-zero, so let us open this definition with respect to the third column. So we have ub, then this will become your u minus ub, and here we will have plus ub. So this is your u square into v. So your answer of this Jacobian is u square v. The next question. Next we have the question, if u equal to x plus y upon 1 plus xy and v equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y, then show that u and v are dependent and find our relationship between u and v. So if they are dependent to each other, then find a relationship between u and v. Solution: our u and v will be dependent to each other if their Jacobian with respect to xy is 0. So here we will show that our Jacobian with respect to xy is 0. So let us find out Jacobian of ub with respect to xy. So first one will be del u upon del x. So the differentiation of this term with respect to x will be 1 plus xy into the differentiation of the numerator will be 1 minus differentiation of this denominator with respect to x will be y, then we will have x plus y divided by 1 plus xy whole square. So this is your del u upon del x. Then we will have del u upon del y as 1 plus xy. Then we will have x into x plus y on 1 plus xy whole square. So this is your del u upon del x and del u upon del y. Then we have del b upon del x. Now the differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Del b upon del y will be 1 upon 1 plus y square. So now this is your simply 1 minus y square. So the numerator is here. Your numerator is here we have minus sign here. So this is your minus. So if it is minus, so this will become your plus. Again we will have plus sign here. So as your u is x plus y upon 1 minus xy, so this is your 1 minus xy upon 1 minus xy whole square. We have 1 minus xy here. So now the numerator of the first term is 1 plus y square divided by 1 minus xy whole square. Then we have again 1 plus x square divided by 1 minus xy whole square, and here this term is 1 upon 1 plus x square, and the last term is again 1 upon 1 plus y square. So you can see that this is equal to 0. So as the Jacobian of uv with respect to xy is 0, hence we can say that u and v are connected to each other. Therefore u and v are connected to each other. So that means your u and v are functionally dependent to each other. So let us find out the relationship between u and v. Because v equal to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. Now we have the definition of tan inverse a plus tan inverse b, and it is equal to tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy, and this is your u. So therefore v equal to tan inverse u, and this will give us u equal to tan v. So our u is tan v. Then our last question is, if u cube plus v cube equal to x plus y, u square plus v square equal to x cube plus y cube, show that Jacobian of uv with respect to xy is equal to 1 by 2 y square minus x square upon uv into u minus v. So solution. This is a question of implicit function. Here you can see that we cannot find u and v in terms of x and y. So we will assume the equation number 1 as function 1. So let f1 equal to u cube plus v cube minus x minus y, and the function f2 as u square plus v square minus x cube minus y cube. Then your Jacobian of uv with respect to xy will be, as we have two equations, so we will have minus 1 power 2. Then Jacobian of uv, then Jacobian of f1 f2 with respect to xy divided by Jacobian of f1 f2 with respect to uv. So let us find out these two Jacobians. Now del f1 del f2 upon del uv is equal to del f1 upon del u. This is your 3u square. Del f1 upon del v, we have 3v square. Del f2 upon del u, 2u square. Then 2v square. So this is equal to 6 u square v square. Again minus u square v square. So this is your 2u and it is 2v. So this is equal to 6 times u square v minus v square u. So if you take ub common, then you will have u minus v here. Now let us compute the second Jacobian. So Jacobian of f1, f2 with respect to ub is equal to del. So let us compute this with respect to x and y. So this will be your del f1 upon del x, which is your minus 1. And then we will have minus 1. Now del f2 upon del x is your minus 3x square. Then we have minus 3y square. So this is equal to 3y square minus 3x square. So we have y square minus x square here. And therefore your answer is our Jacobian of ub with respect to xy is equal to minus 1 power 2 will be plus 1. Then this Jacobian is equal to 3y square minus x square divided by 6 times ub into u minus v. So our answer is 1 by 2 y square minus x square, then u minus v. Question is, if v equal to x plus y plus z, v equal to x square plus y square plus z square, w equal to xy plus yz plus zx, then show that u, v and w are not independent. So then we have to show that u, v and w are not independent, and if they are not independent, then find a relationship between them. Find a relationship between u, v and w. So your solution, here we have to show that u, v and w are not independent. That means we will prove that the Jacobian of u, v and w with respect to x, y and z is equal to 0. So let us find out the Jacobian. So this is equal to del u upon del x, del u upon del y, del u upon del z. Then del u upon del x, del u upon del y, del u upon del z. Then w upon del x. Now this will be your del w upon del x will be y plus z. Del b upon del y will be x plus z, and the third term del b upon del z will be your y plus x. Now your this determinant is equal to, let us subtract column 1 from column 2 and then from column 3 column 1. So you can see that there is no change in the first column, so let us write it as it is. And then your c2 minus c1, so this will become 0, and here we will have 2y minus x, and again you can see that this is your x minus y, so we can write it as y minus x. Then 1 minus 1 will be 0, here we will have 2z minus x, and this will be your again x minus z, so or we can write it as z minus x. Now this is equal to, let us take y minus x and z minus x common. So we have 1 2x y plus z, then 0 2 minus 1, then the next one is 0 2 and minus 1. So you can see that this is your 1 into 2 minus 2 plus 2, so it is equal to 0. So you can see that Jacobian is 0, so u, v and w are not independent, or we can say that they are functionally dependent to each other. Now if they are dependent to each other, then find a relationship between u, v and w. Now our u square will be x plus y plus z whole square. So this is equal to x square plus y square plus z square plus 2xy plus yz plus zx. Now the value of x square plus y square plus z square is v, and 2 times xy plus yz plus zx is w. So we can say that our u square is equal to v plus 2w.